How to create a nuisance value. As I entered his cabin, the general manager introduced me to a person. Putting his hand on his shoulders, he said, "Meet my friend and the most valued person in the company." I later found that he was also the most wanted throughout the company. I never found him walking alone on the factory premises. He was always surrounded by a couple of operatives and was offered tea by every section head. Later I came to know that he was the company's union president. No wonder, I said to myself. After all, no sooner than he uttered the word "stop," the entire factory would come to a standstill. Thus, I learned that nuisance value is your most valuable asset. It does a real value addition to your status and power. A trade union leader can give jobs to people more easily than even the state-run employment bureau. No wonder, then, that every blue-collar worker, as they were known then, had one and the only aspiration: to become a union leader. Amazed by his popularity, I asked the union leader as to what was the secret of his popularity and how is it that he never went alone anywhere. He had a hearty laugh and said, "That's because if I go alone, my own union members would brand me as a management stooge." Nuisance value is independent of your status in the organizational hierarchy. A clerk is more influential than even a deputy general manager. That's because the clerk has an easy access to all your files. He can decide the speed of your file to be cleared by the big boss. Here is my advice on creating your nuisance value. Step 1. In order to create a nuisance value, the first and foremost skill that you require to develop is to judge people, not by their talent, but by their closeness to the top boss. Remember, the boss's personal assistant has the maximum nuisance value, and it is through his PA that the boss can trouble you no end. Step 2. Weigh the pluses and minuses of everyone around you in your office. But what matters more is remembering only their minuses. You have to make them understand that you know what they do not wish others to know about themselves. Start with exploring your boss's secrets. If the boss wants to guard them closely, you will be his most favored person. There was a professor in the university whom the vice chancellor had nominated on 20 committees. You guessed it right. He knew all the secrets of the former. Step 3. Your nuisance value has no value unless it inflates continuously. In fact, any behavioral economist would advise you that the nuisance value should not remain stable. To make it happen, your behavior has to be unpredictable. There is a direct link between the two. It is only the behavioral unpredictability that will make people scared of you. Sometimes the law bestowed upon you the nuisance value. I leave it to you to consult legal advisors as to which act has facilitated creating the nuisance value of the entire community. My dear friends, you need not join any business management school to learn the creation of nuisance value. Reading only the headlines of daily newspapers will suffice. Our politicians have been giving these lessons for free for years. Nuisance value and corruption always go hand in hand. Higher the nuisance value, more the protection given by the ruling parties against legal action on the corrupt. Those of us who are brought up to be God-fearing do not really know why our parents inculcated that value in us. Can you guess why? They had long realized that the God has the supreme nuisance value. In order to prevent that moving finger from writing the unwanted, we have to keep on praising and praying Him all our lives.